with all due respect, the fact is we had 4 dead Americans. Was it because of a protest, or was it because of guys out for a walk one night who decided they'd go kill some Americans? What difference at this point does it make?
Hillary Clinton now saying fake news, putting lives at risk. My next guest says it was Hillary and Susan Rice's Benghazi narrative that was the biggest fake story of them all. Remember this.
We've had the evolution of the Arab Spring over the last many months, but what sparked the recent violence was the airing on the internet of a very hateful, very offensive video that has offended many people around the world.
My next guest says it was Hillary's fake news that covered up her son's just horrific death. It is a disgrace that this happened. It happened during the Benghazi terror attack. His name is Sean Smith. He died in that attack. He's a U.S. Foreign Service Information Management Officer. His mother, Patricia Smith, joins me now. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for your son's service to our country. And and mothers and fathers, they have sacrificed so much as well. We thank you too. I just wanted to get that out there first. Patricia, you say Hillary is responsible herself for fake news. Now, some critics might say, well, wait a second, is that a generalization? Is that being a little harsh? What do you say?
That is not harsh when I have been able to prove that her actions killed my son.
So you have been able to prove that. What do you mean?
My son called me the night before this happened and told me, said, "Mom, I'm going to die," that's a heck of a thing to have to hear. But I asked him why, and he says because he's asked again for security, and it's been approved or just ignored. And sure enough, he died that night.
So Sean told you that all security had been pulled from the embassy, right?
That's correct. That's what he said.
And now emails reveal that Hillary blamed terrorism for the Benghazi attack in an email to her own daughter. Again, this is in the context of Hillary now talking about fake news. What needs to be discussed is what have our elected officials and our appointed officials said and done in the past. But you're saying that Hillary Clinton told you a different story. Can you explain?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. In fact, she put her arms around me and told me it was the video. And I asked her at the time, what video? I didn't know anything about any video. And she said it was the video that there was the video. Everybody knows what it is now. But that's the reason that this happened. And I know for sure it wasn't the video. She even said afterwards it wasn't the video. I want to know why my son is dead. And I think that I deserve to have that explanation. She has never once told me why my son is dead.
Has anybody in the U.S. government told you yet how your son died?
Yes, they called and told me a little bit after midnight. They woke me up and said, "Your son is dead." And that's the last I heard.
Who called you?
Somebody from the State Department.
And did anybody else call you?
No. I called them many, many times begging to find out what the story is. Nobody would talk to me. They would just tell me I was not a member of the immediate family, and they don't have to tell me anything.
Wait a minute, you're his mother.
I thought so.
And Patricia, when you hear the Democrats or anybody out there talking about fake news stories, what is your reaction when you hear that?
Well, I know what she told me. I was 10 feet away from my son's coffin, and I know what she told me. She told me it was the video and that she would give me a call. She was going to check into it a little bit more, and if they found out any different, they would call me. Nobody ever has called me. I'm still waiting to hear.
Patricia, thank you again. We are so very sorry for your loss.
Just find out why.
We're working on it.
I think, can't they just tell me why? Why did they pull the security? There must have been a good reason. If there isn't a good reason, she must be nuts. There's got to be a reason why this happened.
Patricia, we will stay on the story. Please come back to us if you hear anything. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. I will.
Okay.